and welcome back to this channel. My name is Sarah. Et bienvenue à tous les francophones qui regardent. N'hésitez pas à mettre des sous-titres. In today's video, I would like to present to you my winter sewing plans, which are garments that I picked out with in mind that I'm going to be very busy starting very soon. And with that, I wanted to also thank you for all of your very kind messages after my last video where I announced that I am getting married in May and I'm making my wedding dress as well. So yeah, very soon I'm going to be very busy with that. And I think that these projects that I picked will be projects that I can do maybe at the same time, or if I give myself a little bit of a break to do something simple, because these projects are a lot more simple sews or quick sews or garments that are staples in my wardrobe and that I've made before and that I reach for all the time and that will be useful to me. And so I think that these projects will be okay to plan with this giant project in mind. I will be receiving the pattern and the instructions and the final mock-up that was validated with the designer who is helping me make this dress, or at least design this dress, from her soon. And so I'll be able to get to fabric shopping and planning out how I'm going to make this dress. My sewing corner is in just a corner of the main floor. We have 2 floors in this house, and there's the living room over here, the kitchen's right behind the camera, and so I don't have a door and I want to keep this a secret from my fiance. And so rather than locking him upstairs whenever he's home, which is not ideal, I'm thinking of maybe rigging up some curtains, maybe just taping it to the ceiling or something. I don't know how to do this. To close off my sewing corner so that after I've cut it out I can work on it in secret. Or maybe I'll just have to send him back to his hometown in Lille a few weekends to hang out with his friends. But we'll see. I'll see. If you have any ideas about rigging up curtains, let me know. I am also currently deep into planning my work trips to Taipei and Tokyo. Very soon I'm leaving end of January and coming back first week of February, so I'll be there for 2 weeks total. And I have about 2-3 days in Taipei and then also in Tokyo to explore a little bit. So if you have any recommendations, I'll be in central Taipei when I'm visiting there, and then I'll be near Chiyoda City and Shinjuku in Tokyo. So if you have any addresses, cafes, things to eat, places of interest to go, let me know in the comments and I will check them out, because I do have a few days to explore and I'm really excited. So without further ado, let me show you my projects. The first fabric that I would like to show you is this gorgeous fabric. This is a polyester tweed. I think it's almost half polyester, half acrylic, and then a little bit of this lurex and a little bit shiny threads that are running through here. And I saw this is from Sacré Coupon, and I saw this on their Instagram a few months ago and I fell in love. This was definitely more of an impulse buy. Well, not really, but more of an Instagram provoked impulse buy. And I absolutely love this. This is the weight. Let me drape it so you can see better. All right, so it looks like the camera doesn't really know what to do with the lighting. This is what happens when you film with an iPhone. So sorry if the lighting's kind of strange while I'm showing you these fabrics. But yeah, I absolutely love these colors. I love the check pattern. I love the texture. It's got sort of a basket weave texture to it. And usually I don't like when my clothes are shiny. I don't like lurex in my fabrics. But I find that it's subtle in this, and because the color is so dark and there's so much texture, that it looks kind of nice actually. And so with this fabric, I would like to make a skirt. I want to make a straight skirt, and I don't have a pattern for that. I was thinking of using the Ultimate Pencil Skirt again from Sew Over It. I have made this skirt many times, and I made it, for example, just recently in a short skirt version. I'm thinking of modifying it though, so having the same fit at the waist and then down to the hips, but then maybe straightening out the side seams so it doesn't come in so much around the knees, because I don't want it to be difficult to walk in. And then I was thinking of changing the back vent that's usually at the center back seam behind the knees to side vents. But I'm not sure, so what I was thinking is I would like it to be very much like the Seamwork Margot skirt, but that's actually a pattern for stretch fabrics and thick stretch fabrics like a ponte knit, and this is not a stretch fabric, so I can't use that, but I want it to look almost the same like the silhouette. And I'm not sure if the side slits are a good idea, just because that might make it flap around a bit, and I do want it to be below the knees, like just below the knees. So I'll have to think about that. Let me know what you think. I think it might look nice, especially with this check pattern. I think that it might look really nice as a straight skirt. And I also don't want a straight skirt with an elasticated waist. I want something that's definitely form-fitting from the hips up. And that's why I very much like the Sew Over It Ultimate skirt, or Ultimate Pencil skirt, because it does have the 2 darts in the front and in the back, and shaping throughout the waist, and then just a folded under waistband, so there's no actual waistband to stitch to the top of it, so there won't be a break or a seam breaking up this check pattern. So yeah, this is definitely my favorite fabric, and this is something that I've been waiting to work for. I love this blue color. It's definitely very much me. And I have 3 meters of this because I wanted to make sure I had enough for pattern matching at the side seams and in the back. And I might have enough to make a short skirt as well. But yeah, I love this. They still have a little bit left in stock if you'd like to check it out. I'll link it below if it's still there when I make this, or when I publish this video. And they also have it, I think, in green, like a dark forest green, and in an off-white. And the off-white's definitely speaking to me too, but we'll see. It was still a little bit expensive. But yeah, this is my first project, and I hope it goes well. The next project that I have in mind, and that I've already cut out actually, is a heather dress by Sew Over It. I can't get through a winter season without making a heather dress. It's one of my absolute favorite patterns to make and to wear, and I will definitely be making it this season as well. And I'll be making it in this plum or wine colored double knit fabric. It's a Ponte fabric from Minerva, and this fabric was actually gifted to me in exchange for an article for their website. And so I'll be writing all about this project very, very soon, and when I show it to you finished, I'll definitely link that in the description, but not yet, it's not finished yet. But yeah, this is great. I love working with Ponte fabric. It's a thicker knit fabric if you don't know it already, or sometimes it's called tricot or double knit, and it's got this great, it's not very, very stretchy, but it's much easier to sew with if you haven't sewn with stretch fabrics yet. And I love this color. This is actually one of the colors that is going to be incorporated into my wedding decorations. And so this color is very special to me. It looks very good on my fiance, for example, and that's why I picked it. I think I've already cut out my heather dress, but I have this much left. I might be able to get a Seamwork Astoria sweater out of it as well, but that's a big might. But yeah, so basically I'm going to make another Sew Over It heather dress, and I have modified this pattern quite a lot in the past few years. At first when I made it, it was a little bit too loose, especially around the hips, and so I took it in the side seams, I shortened it 5 centimeters or 2 inches, and I added a center back seam because there was like a pool of fabric at my lower back, and so I kind of scooped out the extra fabric. So the back seam that I added has this like scooped shape to it, which is very, very strange, but it works for me. I modified this pattern years ago when I first made this dress, I think back in 2017 or 2018, and perhaps with my experience I should go back to it and do it again. I think what it actually is that my lower back is very narrow and narrower than my front. And so from the side seams, there's usually more fabric in the back, and it pools vertically, not horizontally. So yeah, strange. And I've never figured out what that is and how to correct it, but that's how I correct it with this pattern, and that's how I'll do it again. So I'll show that to you, but I will be adding back the 5 centimeters at the hem because I do want it to be a little bit longer. I like the length of my previous heather dresses, but I have a half slip that I wear underneath it, and it's just a little bit longer, and so it's a little bit of a hassle tucking it into my tights usually so that it doesn't show at the hem. And so if I just lengthen it a little bit, maybe it would be easier to wear my half slip with and easier to wear in general, so I'm going to try it. But yeah, this is definitely an easy project for me, something that I can sew up very easily, very quickly. Even the Astoria sweater, if I add it, the Seamwork Astoria sweater. And so yeah, these 2 projects will be a no-brainer, and I can do it pretty quickly. I've actually already sewed up almost the entire heather dress just last weekend, so almost finished already. The next fabric I would like to sew with is this gray cotton knit fabric. It's 100% cotton. It's mostly opaque, and it's got this great stretch to it. It's this really nice gray color. I like when grays are a little bit less beige and a little bit more blue. I think that gray is a very difficult color to pick online especially, and I did buy this online. I bought this from Tissu de Rêve, which is translated dream fabric, based here in Paris. and they had a New Year's sale, so I found this. I think I paid €4 a meter or something like that, so that was a great deal. I bought 1 meter, and I'm going to make a Sew Over It Edie top with this, and I've made this many times before. I love wearing the Edie top for pajamas or just as a casual t-shirt or shirt to wear on the weekends or with jeans. It's great. It's sometimes the boat neck is a little bit too wide, and so my bra straps do show on the sides, but I don't really care. I love this top. And I just tuck them back in and keep going. And it's really, really wide. I think it's 1.5 meters wide, so I might actually be able to get 2 tops out of this. So if I have enough extra fabric after the Sew Over Edie top, I think I want to make the Vanessa Pouzet Wanted tee. That pattern was very, very popular a few years ago because it has a square neckline, and it's actually what I'm wearing today. If you can see, I've made it in black and also in white, and in gray I think it would look really nice. The only thing about this fabric and this color is that it will definitely show sweat or any humidity very, very easily, so I'll have to be careful. But yeah, I love how soft it is. Usually I don't really like working with 100% cotton jerseys because they usually have sort of a waxy, cold feel to them, but this is really soft, and I wasn't anticipating that. It almost feels brushed, like a brushed surface fabric, but it's not. It's still smooth, and it's just lovely. So I'm excited to make those 2 tops or even just 1 top and wear it. I could definitely sew up either tops in probably an afternoon. So yeah, great project for a busy season as well. And then the last project I would like to get to is a little bit more of a spring themed project, and it's with this viscose fabric that I bought from Pretty Mercery a few years ago, so I don't think it's still available. So it's a very light viscose, and viscose is one of my favorite fabrics to work with, but it's not the easiest to work with because it does slip a little bit and it does grow when you cut it, as in like the sides of it sort of relax when you cut it, so you have to be very careful with viscose. But yeah, I've had this fabric in my stash for a few years. I was wondering for a little while, is it something that I really want to wear close to my face? But I think it looks okay, and I think that the print is not too overwhelming. And I think it would be really nice for spring, even though we're talking about winter projects. This will definitely take me a little while, so if I want it ready for spring, I have to start it now. I'm actually going to make the Forget-Me-Nots Adeline Wrap top pattern, and that pattern exists as both a top and a dress, and it has a few options. So there's a collar and then a collarless version, and I'm going to make the top and the collarless version. And this was actually gifted to me, the pattern, by Forget-Me-Nots, because they asked me if I would like to try making a pattern in exchange for photos for their marketing. And so I said yes, because I have never heard of them before, and I thought that one looked really interesting. And so yeah, I'm excited to try it. I don't have a whole lot of blouses that I can wear that aren't stretchy, and so I think it'll look nice. I also have a dark green pencil skirt and a black pencil skirt that I could wear this with, or just jeans. I think this color would go with a lot of the different separates that I have, a lot of the different bottoms or skirts that I have, so I think that'll work well. I think the only thing about this project that worries me is that I am between sizes with this pattern. I'm between a size, I think 30 and 32. I'm thinking of either making the bigger size and then figuring it out, maybe taking it in at the shoulder seams, or manually hand grading the pattern, which would take a long time. So this is definitely the most invested project that I have taken on for this very busy season, but I think in the end it'll be a great top, and it looks like the pattern instructions are pretty comprehensive, so I think it'll be okay. So the next fabric that I would like to show you is actually something I would like your help with, because I made a bit of a mistake in buying this online and I don't have a project for it yet. And it is this cream colored 100% wool twill. And the mistake I made was that I thought, well, perhaps it's not my mistake, actually, is that I thought it was much thicker. It was advertised as being good for blazers and coats, pants, or skirts, and of being 370 grams per square linear meter, which I converted to being about 250 grams per square meter. And it's not that. I would be surprised if it's over 200. And for reference, this fabric is 250 grams per square meter. And you can see it's not the same. And so, yeah, I don't know what to do with this. It's not even opaque, and so I would have to line it somehow. I don't know if you can see through it with the lighting, but yeah, I'd have to line it somehow. I was thinking of making a skirt with it. I think it would look really beautiful cut on the bias. It's got this bounce to it, but I think it would hold a pleat very well and press really well. So I'm not sure. I'm thinking maybe sort of a structured skirt with buttons down the middle, like a jean skirt or something that you'd make with jean fabric. I don't know, maybe shorts, but can you do that with wool? Will it be washable? For example, I don't think I can wash this in the wash just normally, like a cotton. So yeah, and it was slightly expensive. I got it half off from Tissus de Rêve again, so Dream Fabrics. And it was 20 euros a meter rather than 40 euros a meter, so I know it's good quality. It feels like good quality. It's a nice fabric, I just don't know what to do with it, so if you have any suggestions, let me know. I am also going to continue working on my Cornwall cable knit sweater. This is a pattern by Two of Wands that I talked about in my last video as well. And it's actually knitting up a lot faster than I thought it would, or maybe I'm watching a lot more TV. But hopefully I'll be able to bring this with me to Taipei and Tokyo to keep me company when I'm alone in my hotel room at night, or even on the plane, for example. I purchased these knitting needles. It's actually a set of interchangeable circular needles. It's the Lykke brand, or L-Y-K-K-E, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. And I chose it, it's an early Christmas present to myself. I chose it because of the bamboo. I thought that it would be easier to take on a plane with me and not confiscated. But who knows? I will definitely be removing them and sticking them with my pens and pencils before getting through security, because I think perhaps that way it won't be as suspicious, and that's what I read online. But if you have any experiences or warnings or tips as to how to bring knitting on a plane, let me know. But hopefully the wood won't, I mean, that's not sharper than a pencil or pen, so hopefully it won't pose a problem, but who knows. So yeah, I think I won't finish that before I leave, and I'll be able to bring it with me, but I think I will be finishing it soon, so I'll have to find another knitting project to keep my hands busy soon. So those are all the projects that I have planned for this winter season, and I think that they are doable, even though I will be starting working on my wedding dress very soon, and I'm excited to get started on that. A little bit nervous. I think that these projects are the sorts of things that will give me a little break, like a mental break whenever I need to focus on something easy and just feel like, yes, I can still sew even though this other part is really hard. Yeah, I think 4 to 6 projects, because depending on whether I get other tops or 2 tops out of these 2 fabrics specifically, it might be up to 6 projects, and I am really excited. I'm a little bit nervous because I'm preparing to travel very soon, and I'm going alone, so that's always a little bit nerve-wracking, and this is the first time I'm combining 2 countries at the same time for work. Usually I do one at a time, and I go for a week and then I come home. So yeah, 2 weeks on my own in 2 different countries far away, that's going to be a bit of a challenge, especially with the currency and internet and language and different cultures and being out in big cities. So yeah, I'm getting ready for that. Today I am wearing, like I showed you earlier, a Vanessa Pouzet wanted tee in a black knit, and I'm wearing it with the Helen's Closet Blackwood cardigan, which I really love wearing in the wintertime because it's got long sleeves and it's really cold today, so it's keeping me nice and warm. I have linked all the patterns I've discussed in the description below, and any fabric if it's available below, so don't hesitate to check those out. And let me know in the comments what you have planned for the winter season, if it's projects or voyages or any experiences. I'd love to know. And I will see you again here soon. Take care, and bye-bye.